we have the various members of Timothy Bailey and the Humans in, and there's a lot of them. So when you are on that mic, that third mic, lean into it real quick, introduce yourselves. Cece's gonna have some things to say, and then we'll talk about music and about performing. Who's first?
I'm Greg Garner, keyboardist.
Yeah. Next.
Melissa Jones, violin.
Right up on it.
Trumpet, French horn, Steve Bowling.
I'm Doyle Hall. I play the bass.
And I'm Timothy Bailey.
Where's Greg?
Somewhere Greg Weatherford plays drums.
You want me to imitate him?
Yeah.
Greg and Ben?
Here we have a late member of the band. Lean into the mic and introduce yourself and what you play.
Confess.
Ben, guitar.
All right, yes, they are Timothy Bailey and the Humans, and they just played live in WRIR Studio C. That was funded by wonderful listeners who have given to the station for previous fund drives. And we have several folks to thank who gave during your performance. So we want to thank Rachel, Miriam, Cole, Jean, Stephanie, Danielle, and Chris. You guys together have given close to $300. That's wonderful. I'm so excited to have that. And that's going to go in a long way of not just giving Timothy Bailey the chance to be heard on radio, but so many other bands of Richmond musicians will be able to come up these stairs, going to have the same experience that they did. So if you truly were moved by that performance or just moved by anything that WRIR has on air at any given moment, it's because of volunteers like Albert and myself and these bands that are creating that for you. So go online at WRIR.org and give to the station. You can call in at 804-622-9747 or come up to the station. You can shake these guys' hands, talk music with them. We're at 1621 West Broad Street here in the Midtown. Is that what we call it? Midtown?
Broad Street, Richmond, Virginia.
There you go. But all in all, we just want you to come by and see what you have done through your contributions to power WRIR and make the station as strong as it has been for 14 years, and next year's our 15th anniversary. So excited to have that, and it's because of people like you who have given to the station and will give before this fund drive ends on Wednesday.
One of the cool things that we can do here at WRIR is be a platform for local music. Not just recorded music, which we have many, many bands behind us on CDs. It's almost an archive now, but live music. And living bands, people that you know, people that play out. So who would like to step up to the mic? Anyone? Anyone? Come on, peoples. How long have you guys been playing? You guys played out at Gallery 5, what was it, maybe 2 weeks ago? Is that right?
A few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing as a group?
Well, Timothy Bailey and the Humans began in 2006.
Okay.
And has gone through a bunch of lineup changes and then many years of not playing, but this is the first really solid lineup. We've been playing together for coming on a year soon.
Okay.
So we waited a long time before we played the show out.
Okay. You know, I've told our listeners that I asked you guys suggestions of bands and musicians that influenced you, and you came through with a variety of suggestions, and I couldn't get to all of them. Some of them were not the ones that you literally suggested, but offshoots or ideas. What was it about the Lucinda Williams that you particularly liked, the one we started off the show with? You said that was...
That one is... The song is called I Envy the Wind, and for my money it's the perfect... It's like an exemplar of what lyrics are meant to be. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know, I find it, I don't see the point of writing lyrics just to carry a melody. You might as well speak in Esperanto or something. And so if you're going to try to be a good songwriter, there's no better model than Lucinda Williams, and maybe even specifically that song. I love it because the form of it is interesting. In the first stanza, she talks about envying the wind, and in the second one, it's rain, and the third one, or maybe it's wind, rain, and then sun, and then the last stanza is she sums up all of that. And it's an interesting way to write a love song about envying these things in the physical world. You know, it's not just I love you, it's I envy the wind that gets to touch you. And it's just so the beautiful physical details.
Who was it that suggested the Richard Thompson track? Yeah,
That was mine, yeah.
Which one was that? That was Bank Vault in Heaven.
Yeah, that was off a record from the mid '90s, I think.
You,
Called
me,
Yes,
us. And again, this is the thing that WRIR does for its listeners. I didn't know about that album, and it's a cool. What was it that particularly you liked about that?
Well, you asked for stuff that influenced us, so I specifically thought about when had been playing for 4 or 5 years, kind of the mid late '90s. What stuff actually I feel like influenced how I play.
Okay.
And that one, I got into Richard Thompson around that time. I just picked that particular song because it had some pretty intense, visceral lead stuff that he did, and it's got a nice, I don't know, I'm really attracted to I don't know if you call it a cynical or a misanthropic bent to some of his lyrics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Who was it that suggested? CC and I were having fun with the Chicago track. Can we lean in and tell us now? That wasn't necessarily the track that you suggested, but it was anything by Chicago, and so I just went with that.
So Chicago, I love their sound, their backup band, the brass section. It's just so tight, and it just sounds like one person playing, but it's several, and that's what I try to do. I try to blend in, and it just
So
the
much
music.
fun.
I just love the music.
Were you the one that had? Was it the Neil Diamond track that we played?
I would think that was Boyle.
Yeah, you're all the way at the far end. I thought the Chicago. Maybe if I would have planned it a little better, Chicago and Neil Diamond could have been like back to back. But what was it about that one that you liked?
The Neil Diamond track, you were asking about influences, and it featured a bass player named Tommy Cogdill, who was just a great bass player on the American studios back in the 60s and 70s, and just a great bass player. He had a way of kind of playing really fundamental bass parts, but really making the bottom end move.
What do you mean by the bottom end?
And make it even like a ballad, have a kind of a dance groove to it.
What do you mean by the bottom end? Is it a bass line?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
He's an amazing bass player. So, and he produced a bunch of things too. So you hear him on like the Box Tops, like songs like Soul Deep, and songs like that. So he was all over a lot of the early Neil Diamond stuff too.
So we're going to play a track coming up next from Stevie Wonder, and I don't remember who. Yeah, you're in the back. I'm getting everybody here. And this wasn't the one you suggested, but you particularly like Talking Book.
Yes. That was my first Stevie Wonder album that I bought. And growing up, I was introduced to Stevie Wonder was I Just Called to Say I Love You, and then I went ahead and decided to buy a Talking Book, the CD, and I just was mesmerized by it. And then I went to Music of My Mind, and yeah, Talking Book came out. Or not came out. I bought it, and I was dating this girl at the time, and we broke up, which broke my heart.
Maybe your baby. The
And it was
track off that album.
no Tuesday Heartbreak. I think
Okay,
we broke
okay.
up on a Tuesday, or she went away. That was just like, so it's like this, really, seared into my brain how Stevie Wonder kind of affected me. And his I love his keyboards, just obviously because he plays with so much emotion, and especially in Talking Book and Music of My Mind and all that. The way he mixes the Rhodes sounds and the synthesizer sounds, like